Hey everybody, so today we're in Jekyll Island, Georgia. We're exploring the island. This is the Horton house right here. It's the ruins. We're gonna go across the island. We're looking for some glass globes, but they'll be in plastic. I don't think we'll find any, but there's no harm in looking. And also, this year is the 75th anniversary of Jekyll Island being a state park. So, and if I can find some stuff, I'll go into a little bit of history, but if not, I'll cover it at the end of the video whenever I'm reading my little Cliff Notes edition, as I say. Anyway, let's go. Okay. So this right here says that William Horton decided to travel to Georgia with General James Oglethorpe in 1735. And then he arrived in Jekyll in 1736, and it was very isolated. This is a little bit of information right here. So this would have been a two-story house because you can see it's one story, then the second story's up there. So anyway, it says that tabby was the building material for the walls, floors, and roofs widely used throughout coastal Georgia during the military and plantation eras. It was composed of equal parts of sand, lime, oyster shell, and water mixed into mortar and poured into forms. So if you want to read the rest of that, go ahead, because some people say I talk too fast. It's okay. I can't slow down. And that says the same thing on that side also. And this was saying that William Horton worked and lived on this island until his death in 1748. He made numerous improvements to the land. Unfortunately, many of these buildings have been lost to time and hidden by the sandy soil. Anyway, the Horton house was completed in 1743. It was his second home on the island. The original wooden home was burned by the Spanish troops in 1742 after the defeat of St. Simon's Island at the Battle of Bloody Marsh. And it says the second home was simple but spacious for Horton, his wife Rebecca, and his two children. And it does look like it is kind of small once you're inside. And this says that this is the remains of the Horton Tabby house, and that he was the first English resident. Major Horton cut a road across the north end of Jekyll, running east and west from this Tabby house to the beach. This road is still known as the Horton Road. I think that says the same thing also. But for years, I always wanted to come here and find this house. So we came a few years ago, but it was worth coming back to see again. And I'll go back through it one more time before we mosey on. But you know, that would have been a nice view of all those trees with the Spanish moss shining through. And I do have a fascination with looking in these old shells from the tabby. That's just beautiful right there. We do know for a fact that tabby was made to stand the test of time, because it is still standing. And it's going to be, what, 300 years later? So this is the Poulain du Bignon and du Bignon burying ground. May not be pronouncing that right. But anyway, it says this burying ground contains the bodies of several members of the du Bignon family, descendants of Les Soeurs, Christopher, Poulain de la Houssaye du Bigman. Don't quote me on those names. But anyway, you can read it. Oh, there's my shadow. But this says, by the end of the 18th century, William Horton's small farm had become a large and prosperous plantation. After Horton's death, the island had several owners prior to the arrival of Christopher. That's not Christopher, it has no R on the end. In 1791. So anyway, let's move on. Get into the story of these plastic globes that we're looking for that you can turn in for a glass one. It said in the early 1900s, the fishermen out here would place glass balls, which was also known as floats, on their nets, and occasionally they would break free. So by the 1950s, people were looking for these things so they could collect them, and that's how they became known as island treasures. So this is the 20th year they've been doing it this year, so they've hidden over 500 plastic balls, but I think they only release like 2 to 5 per day, because it's been going on from early January of 2022 and it's going to February 28th of this year. So if I find one, I'll definitely be excited about it. Anyway, it says the plantation that, you know, the name I can't pronounce, established at the beginning of the 19th century, had its good and bad years. When his youngest son Henry married Anne Amelia Niclou in 1808, they were given 40 acres of planted cotton. And then he eventually inherited the entire island when they died in 1825. Shows that this is the burial ground over here. I'll just leave it there so you can read it for a second. Now we shall move on over here. It's a nice old gate. And it says, beneath this marble repose the remains of myriads Amelia Dubagnon, maybe. Anyway, that's really nice. And this was Joseph here. And that's somebody named Marie. This one's named Hector, and he drowned here in 1912. This is George. He also drowned here on March 21st, 1912, so they must have been together whenever that happened. So this right here says, from forest to plantation. The history of the island is tied very closely to the land. From the very beginning of William Horton's occupation on the island, the land was cultivated first by indentured servants, then later under Bignon's ownership with slave labor. And William Horton played an important role in the militia at neighboring Fort Frederica, which is a nice place to go. It's kind of small, but real nice. He was also vital in supporting the civilian population of the settlement around the fort. And he provided corn and beef when supplies failed. And over there shows, I guess, a picture of the house whenever people might have lived in it, maybe. Looks pretty. Oh, yes, that's the Brunswick Bridge over there. This is actually a nice spot. And if you look down there in the water, you can see the reflection of the birds that's up there in the tree. I think the ruins are up here. And then we'll walk back. So we do walk pretty good on flat land, don't we? It's just not up high. Love the mountains, but it's a struggle. That's pretty back there too. You can see the bridge through there also. So what we're getting ready to see is the warehouse ruins. It says Jekyll Island was very isolated from St. Simons and Brunswick in the 18th and 19th centuries. Due to the isolation, the family was mostly self-sufficient, as were the previous owners of the island, such as William Horton. What is now visible in this area are tabby ruins along the marsh and a brick-lined wall, and they're only a glimpse of the extensive plantation that operated on this island for over 100 years. Most of the buildings have been lost to time and concealed by the ground. But what is known about these missing treasures paints a vivid picture of the flourishing plantation. There were wooden barns and malt houses, stables, and overseers' homes, slave quarters, and other outbuildings. So there's the wall right there. I don't know how good it's showing up on video though. And there's like a grate right there. But that's a tabby wall. I don't fall over myself out here. Oh, that's a good view of it right there. And those are the birds from earlier. You might see them better from this point of view, and maybe not. Might be better in the reflection in the water. But anyway, they're up there. So this says this is the tides of change. The marsh ecosystem is anything but stable. Natural forces have a significant effect on the shapes of the islands and waterways and the lives of the people who use them. Georgia's coastline is further west on the east coast, almost directly south of Cleveland, Ohio. That's very interesting to know. Some flooding down there. Oh, well, it says a final hurricane in 1898 helped form the marshes and waterways as you see them today. And if you don't know anything else about the South, we're known for our hurricanes. That would be a nice place to have a little picnic lunch. Look at the bridge over there. And you can actually see some of the oyster shells down there, so that's actually what they used to make the tabby out of. So it's some hardcore stuff. So now we're getting ready to head to Driftwood Beach. This is like the most beautiful part of the beach here. And anyway, there's the rules of the land right there. Ooh. Look at those old dead looking trees. look in the center, you can see the St. Simon's Lighthouse over there. I'll come back one day and do a video of St. Simon's Island in Fort Frederica. Bird is diving for fish, I think. So that's a big tree because I'm 5'10", so I'll claim. So it's a nice big tree. I think Mama said that's enough of that, Donna. Just pass the camera back to you. You have starred enough in your own show. One thing, they want to make sure nobody swims here. They got rocks everywhere. So there, right there's something that's washed up on the beach. It almost looks like something off of a bulldozer or a tank or something. The what?
The planks off a bulldozer.
That's what I was saying, a bulldozer or a tank. It's like it was just left there to rust away. Who knows though?
Never can tell.
That is so beautiful right there. Oh my God, that's beautiful. So pretty. Yeah, people lived here. They had millionaires and everything living here.
So they didn't clean it up like they did at home.
I guess not. I think it's left in its natural state right here on the Driftwood. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, totally worth the walk out here. And I don't think we're gonna find one of the island treasures today because there is a lot of people out here. Not as many people as what would be in the summertime, obviously. Still quite a good bit of people out here. But if we do not succeed, there's always next year. So this is interesting. I don't know if it was a fire pit or a flower pot or a chimney maybe. It's got bricks all around it.
Let's go leather.
It's like FL. Oh no, it's interesting. So this is access 26. And it's on, I think, Ocean View Park. And that back there's the bathroom. It's very, very, very clean in there. Very nice. There's not hardly anybody on this section of the beach down here. I guess they're all down there in Driftwood Beach. labeled down here also, so that makes it easy to find where you're going if you get lost. And I do have a track record of getting lost at places. It's like somebody might have drew an arrow for themselves so they can remember where to go. Like beaches are very clean though. Jellyfish washed up over there. That's a sand dollar, but it's a live one. So, and the way you tell if they're alive, you can see the hair looking thing on them right there. So that one has to go back. And I'm gonna take a picture of it before I send it back. So I'll put it back in the water. So hopefully the ocean will take it back so it won't die. I think it's trying to find those things, but usually I find the dead ones. Rosie. There's another one. Oh, there's another one. I think all of these are alive. The ocean's taking that one right on back out. There's another one there. This is so exciting. So technically, I guess you could say I'm finding island treasures, but I can't take them because they're still living. Because, you know, I don't want a sand dollar to die because I took it. And I think it's also illegal. So you don't want to fine for that either. So they're out there trying to live their best life. Now there is plenty of broke ones. That one down there is broke. See that one. Maybe somebody didn't throw that back. I threw the ones I found back. So there is treasures to be found here. It's just sand dollars that still live, but you have to leave them. That's okay. I find plenty of other ones, other places. It's not alive anymore. They're dead. Been dead for a while. And I believe that is the museum for the island right there. And also where you can do a trolley tour. Might have to do that one of these days. was the Millionaires Club. This is the clubhouse. We just keep on going straight. I think you keep on going straight because I think we're getting ready to see all the cottages and stuff. If my memory serves me correctly. It has been known to kill me before though. So the azaleas are starting to bloom here also, and that's pretty cool because I love azaleas. Now this makes me want to go to Charleston to see if they're blooming there. So this right here is the Visitor Information Center. This is where you come if you actually do find one of those balls, or, you know, just come in here and buy a t-shirt or something. But it shows what hours they're open and everything. 8 to 5:30, and then on Sunday from 10 to 5. So we did not find a glass ball, unfortunately, but we're gonna go in here and see what they got to buy.
Thank you.
So that's the ones that have not been found yet. And this is what we were looking for, Mom. I did not see one either, but that's what we were looking for. And then it would have turned into that right there. But they have those for sale. And that's the rest of them right there that have not been found. They're so beautiful.
So, well, yeah, let's take a look at it first. What is the last name? Or do you have your tag number or your DNS for permit?
Okay, so we just came out of the visitor center. So what you do if you cannot find something, you buy something. So we got this beautiful little bag, and I got a t-shirt in there. But they also had these tiny little glass globes, floats, whatever you want to call them. These are on sale for $22, but if you want the large one, you got to pay $75. I'll take a little one instead. So I also got another one because why not? And they said that the lady that made these, she is retiring So this is probably going to be the last of these. And anyway, if you look right there, I don't know how good that's showing up, you can see where it says Jekyll Island, Georgia on it. So I was not going to leave here empty-handed. I was going to buy something. It was like 4 hours away from home, so I did not come here to get some glass and not get any glass. Do you like what I picked out? Oh, I think they're pretty. And there was so many in there. And they said, they told somebody that as of right now, there's still like 40 something hid out there on the island that nobody's found yet. And they hide them every day. So obviously we were not looking in the right places. And I about hurt my eyeballs trying to find those things, but didn't find any. But that's okay. I bought my own. We shall try again next year. But I think we'll be back to Jekyll Island for Holly Jolly Jekyll, because I saw that online last year, and I think I want to do that because they light up the thing, and I think this is going to be so pretty. And my little Bucky up there, he keeps showing, so hi Bucky. We'll eventually get one near where we live at. Anyway, I'm going to do my little research on this video. Not on the video. I'm always rambling and stuff. I'm going to do my research on the island, and then I'll wrap up this video talking about that. So let me commit it to memory, and then I'll be back in a second. So now we're leaving out of Jekyll Island, but I figured I would show this beautiful bridge up here since it was featured so much in my video. I found all this information on the JekyllIsland.com website, so if it's not accurate, I'm going to say it's them. But anyway, Jekyll Island became a vacation destination more than 3,500 years ago. The Native Americans were the first ones that were there, obviously, and they used it to hunt, fish, and gather shellfish. And the French explorers arrived in 1562. The first person that settled were the British colonists, and they claimed the territory for England. And General James Edward Oglethorpe founded the colony of Georgia in 1733, and then gave Jekyll Island its name in honor of Sir Joseph Jekyll, and he was a big financial backer of the new colony. So then, later on, Oglethorpe assigned William Horton to build an outpost on Jekyll Island to protect Frederica on St. Simon's Island. That was a pretty little lighthouse I showed you over there. We're going to go to Fort Frederica one day. We've done it in the past. It's tiny, but if we're going to be traveling the southeast, we might as well travel the southeast and travel everywhere, right? Yep. So, after Horton's death in 1749, I can't even read my own handwriting, the island had numerous owners until the Du Bignon, or however you say his name, purchased it in 1792. So I know you heard me just slaughter that name off of this video. But anyway, in 1806, the island, that's 1886. I got it on a napkin because I'm going down the highway. In 1886, the island was purchased by the Jekyll Island Club, and it was known as a turn-of-the-century vacation retreat. And it was, you know, it was for the the very wealthy, because you saw the Millionaires Club there. So the Morgans, the Pulsers, the Vanderbilts, the Goodyears, the Goulds, the Fields, and the Rockefellers are just some of the people that stayed there. And it was also called the most exclusive, inaccessible club in the world. You know, because you had to be a millionaire. If you were just a regular person, you couldn't go there. But the club days ended due to World War II. So, in 1947, the governor, which he had a very short term as governor, but it was Governor Melvin E. Thompson, he decided that he thought it'd be a good idea for the state of Georgia to purchase the property. So, they purchased the property for $675,000, which in today's world is over $6 million. Something of that nature. So, people can go now. It's like an $8 fee to get onto the island for a day. You can buy a yearly pass. If I lived here, I would definitely have a yearly pass because it's beautiful. And I think you could buy a weekly pass also. There's tons of hotels back there. I did not go into detail about the hotels and everything because I am a nature person, and I was also on a mission looking for a plastic globe so I could get a real glass globe, but I failed miserably at that. However, I had money, so I bought my own. But, as they say, we shall come again, we shall look again. It'll be next year, as long as, you know, life lasts, as a lot of people say. I don't want to die, but anyway, as long as we're still living, we're coming back again. And I know my dad's probably saying right now, Donna, why do you say that kind of stuff? Because you say I don't talk enough. So hopefully people enjoy some of my weird banter that I have. But anyway, did you enjoy your trip today, Mom?
Yes, but you also said you was going to come back for the Christmas lights.
Yeah, she's reminding me I'm coming back for Holly Jolly Jekyll. I've already decided I'm coming back for that because I think that's beautiful. And I did not know that existed until December of this past year in 2021. So look forward to the video of Christmas at Jekyll Island in late 2022, which is later this year because it's already February. These months are just flying by already. So anyway, that's going to do it for today. Hope you enjoy the video. Hope I did not talk too fast for people that have a hard time keeping up with me. But maybe one day I'll have closed caption on these videos so people can understand what I'm saying. But it is my southern accent and I do talk fast. But anyway, have a good day. See you next time. I already know where I'm going next week. So I shall see you there. Bye.